Hello there, everybody. My name is Reldrick, and today we're going to be looking at GameFam, as requested by Sammy is Mexican. They asked for me to look in and give an opinion on this controversial Roblox game developer. As you can see here on GameFam's website, unleashing the potential of metaverse gaming for brands and creators. Play our games right now, 175,000. Total visits to our portfolio, 25 billion visits. That's wild. And it does look like they make potentially games for Minecraft, Roblox, and Fortnite. Now, I don't know what the controversy is of this. This must have been completely slipped underneath my radar because it happened way back in December of 2022. Oh, wow. Sonic Speed Simulator. I believe I played this game for one of my channels. Interesting. Okay. Fortnite creative mode custom maps, bespoke brand integrations for Bakugan. Chainsmokers Virtual Concert is the highest rated concert on premiere day. So what exactly, let's take a quick look. Before we look into the controversy, let's take a quick look into some of the things they've made. Sonic Speed Simulator, Twilight Daycare, Harmony Hills, Car Dealership Tycoon, Super NFL Tycoon, Weapon Fighting Simulator, Build-A-Bear Tycoon, Easy Obby Festival Tycoon, Military Tycoon, Starving Artist, Funky Friday, Maple Hospital, Ultra Power Tycoon, War Tycoon, Tower of Misery, Ultimate Driving, on and on and on and on and on. Hot Wheels. So it looks like they have some of their own games, and they also have games that are obviously sponsored or at least licensed to certain companies like Sega, Build-A-Bear, whoever owns Build-A-Bear, the NFL, so on and so forth. Fortnite, it looks like they've just got some custom maps. I don't know how Fortnite works. I've never played Fortnite. So, in Minecraft, they have, I'm assuming these are Minecraft servers, OP Blocks, and Minecraft Central. So, they have a lot of games that they make our brands. Fast Lane, yeah, Hot Wheels, custom integrations, that's, I don't understand that. Event shop sponsorship, Paws of Fury, display ads for Nickelodeon, Paramount Plus. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, let's look into the controversy that is GameFam here. I have their Wikipedia pulled up. I have this as well. Sonic the Hedgehog Roblox Game Studio can't stop its workers from discussing pay. So I believe it's a payment dispute that's been going on. And even here on the Wikipedia page, I believe it says something in their history. Let's actually just go through this really quick. Why not, right? GameFam Studios is an American video game company aiming to develop for the metaverse. Yuck. It is the first professional company to utilize Roblox as a video game development platform. It also utilizes Fortnite Creative and Minecraft. It has produced content for brands such as Sonic the Hedgehog, National Football League, Hot Wheels, Doctor Strange, Kung Fu Panda, Samsung, and Puma, and its staged virtual concerts for magicians. Musicians such as the Chainsmokers and Saw T. Never heard of Saw T. I've heard of the Chainsmokers. Okay, history is founded in 2019 in Los Angeles, California, United States by Joe Fernecci, the current CEO. Fernecci was originally involved with the bringing Hot Wheels into Forza series and Rocket League, and while doing so, he was observing Roblox's success to free-to-play platform, explaining his reason for founding GameFam. Okay, so he's like, hey, I brokered this deal. We got Hot Wheels into Forza and Rocket League. So why not, let's make our own company and put that license into Roblox. It's free to play. We can pump in a bunch of microtransactions, Robux, whatever you need. So that's what I'm assuming that he did. In November 2020, GameFam was partnered with Mattel for Hot Wheels. Cool. 2021, partnered with WowWee to create toys for their popular Roblox game. Okay. In November 2021, GameFam announced in an interview with Forbes that they partnered with Wild Brain to start integration with various bands. Okay. Various brands even. Okay. So yeah, it's just In April 2021, GameFam partnered with Sega. Yeah, okay. So this is just their history. They've been around since 2019. Interesting. Okay, so it was created to sponsor and make games for these different developers by good old Joe Fernecci. Accusations of mistreatment of employees. This is the spicy stuff. In December 2022, former employees accused GameFam of crunching their employees while underpaying them, as well as laying some off before the holidays without much warning, which was against the contract. Because the employees reported working on Sonic Speed Simulator while being mistreated, the hashtag Sonic Sweatshop Simulator trended on Twitter as a protest by fans. GameFam released a statement denying the accusation and began banning users who brought them up in the Sonic Speed Simulator Discord. Apparently there's a Discord for Sonic Speed Simulator. Interesting. In April 2023, GameFam settled with an employee after he had filed a complaint to the National Labor Relations Board, alleging that the company had violated the National Labor Relations Act by threatening retaliation against an employee that spoke with coworkers. The employee was paid $5,000. That's it? That's so small. Like, when you think of like big things happening and moving with video game companies, that's super small. The employee was paid $5,000 USD in bonus, and GameFam was legally obligated to remind its employees of their rights. That's it. We have a list of all their games. That's it. That's the whole GameFam Wikipedia page. Sonic Speedster, here we go over at Polygon. GameFam settled an NLRB complaint with the programmer. So the programmer got $5,000. Agreed to pay him $5,000 in paid bonuses. The company also agreed to pay a notice and send an email reminding GameFam workers for their rights. We will not tell you that it's toxic or poisonous to the company if you talk to coworkers about pay. So, did the whole thing start when he was mentioning pay? How much were they being paid? That's what I want to know. Let's see if we can find out how much he was being paid. So here we have Reddit. It was recently revealed by a Sonic Speed Simulator developer that the company who works on the Roblox title GameFam treats their workers terribly, cited as basically the pillar that Speed Simulator leaned on for everything. The developer, who goes by the name Digital Purgatory, who wrote a Twitter post explaining how they were overworked while only making $17 an hour. $17 an hour. I mean, that doesn't seem too bad. But apparently that's less than half the standard in the industry. And I guess if you're like the lead developer, even if it's a Roblox game, you would want to get paid more, right? Yeah. He was since terminated with no notice from the company. I encourage you to read Digital Purge. Okay, let's go over here. Read. Let's read this. How long is it? It's not too long. So this is from Digital Purgatory, which is the main person behind this whole thing. Coming out with my experience on GameFam. To begin with, the whole situation with GameFam, they are a predatory company that tries to create a monopoly on the Roblox site by buying out other games and integrating them into their company. I would not generally trust them if they approach you with an offer to advertise your game, especially now of all times. Not only try to create a monopoly, but they underpay some of their positions in this market. Some 3D artists like me are paid $17 an hour with a salary of $30,000 a year. In this industry, most of the standard is at least $35 an hour and a salary of $75,000 a year. While I was employed under GameFam, it was a constant struggle due to heavy crunching in the development team because we were mandated to update Sonic Speed Simulator every week. This was a heavy toll on my mental and physical self, as it had to devote a lot of time to not just the development of the game, but also because I took care of my dad. I tried to explain this to the team and higher-ups, and they mostly understood my situation. I eventually was cut from the full-time to half-time hours without any notice. They have absolutely no communication when it comes to the decision, and when I tried speaking about the matter as professionally as I could with human resources, I was basically just ghosted. Essentially, I slaved away every week working the nights while also taking care of my dad who has complications due to reasons, putting in my best effort and work into every task just to be belittled and ignored and put on half time, cutting my pay in half. So not only do I go from 17 an hour, which is just not even half the salary of a 3D artist, I get cut in half even more. At that point, it was just more than robbing me of my time and money. At the end of October, I ended up working on the Werehog update for Sonic Speed Simulator. Hold on, before I say this, I hope he was looking for other jobs at the time that he was doing this, because if he understood that $17 an hour is low for his industry, he should be looking around at other jobs. You shouldn't just be accepting of an underpaid position. If you can and you know your worth is more, you got to go out there and find another job. Hopefully he was doing that at the time. I don't know. I don't know anything about this guy. I worked hard to get the animations to be the highest of quality that I could. When I submitted my work to be used in the game, I got a notice that I was terminated from the company that I did not even notice until the next Monday to check on my tasks for the week. And to add insult to injury, they showed off the last asset I heavily worked on the Twitter here. Let's see. Okay, that looks like yeah, that looks like Sonic right there for sure. Okay, or Werehog, I guess. I don't know. I'm still struggling financially to support my dad and my family financially because of this. Too long didn't read. GameFam is a predatory company that underpays their employees, has barely any to zero communication with their employees. Okay, so he was being underpaid. They cut his hours down. Then they fired him, terminated him. Now, according to this, he was terminated at the time, but he didn't notice it until the following Monday. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, that being said, let's see what GameFam's statement is. Oh my gosh. All right. On the Monday following one of our biggest weekends ever, where we broke records and achieved new heights of creativity. Okay, corporate speak right there. We wanted to take a moment to celebrate our company, our team, and our history of delivering amazing experiences for amazing communities. Within a healthy and happy studio, we wanted to share a bit more about how we operate this wonderful little company. So this is super corporate. This is the cringe corporate. I hate this, but they have to keep a public image, you know? When we started GameFam almost 4 years ago, our intention was to combine veteran career game developers with the most incredible Gen Z. Oh. Why even bring that up? Why even bring Gen Z up? What does that even have to matter? Just say incredible young Roblox creators. Don't you have to say Gen Z? You don't have to say Gen Alpha. You just say, God, it's just so cringe. That's very cringe to me. To build never before imagined horizons in games. We are a company for gamers for gamers. We are a company by gamers for gamers, excuse me. And now with a team of 230 plus creators. Wow, that's a lot. Earning salaries, bonuses, stack options, benefiting. We have accomplished so much, but we have so much left to do. All right, yada, 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 yada. Where are we at? What is this down here? Here are some facts about working at GameFam. Salary, stock options, quarterly bonus, flexible schedule with no mandatory working hours, global remote workforce, unlimited paid time off, continuous market compensation analysis and adjustment, transparent seniority and career planning, 230 plus full-time employees. That doesn't matter. Easy access to company leadership, coaching. So this is just corporate speak. Celebration of company wins, quarterly, yada, yada, yada. God, I've heard all this before. I hate it. It makes me sick to my stomach. Too long didn't we read? We live for and love our teammates and our community, and we've committed to creating an environment where everyone can thrive, and we're doing it. Thank you for being our friends, players, and most importantly, teammates in excellence. Yeah, so, okay, they're just incredibly corporate about it. That's typical, right? Also, another employee who goes by Wonderland Reject on Twitter highlighted her own experiences as an associate producer with the company. She was let go with no notice, and her promised severance never came, running contrary to GameFam's statement. Oh, okay. What is this all about? Jeez, that's a lot. I was given the starting salary of $55,000 a year with health benefits. Okay. I just want to look around here really quick. So yeah, Joshua DeBoer was the one that got the $5,000 settlement and unpaid bonuses. Interesting. All right. So it was not this Alice person. It was just the previous person. What was his name? Purgatory something or another. Yeah. Anyways. Digital Purgatory. Okay, I'm assuming. I'm not actually 100% certain. Can we go to his site here? We can't actually look at his profile. You're not allowed to look at your profile unless you're signed in on Twitter. Gross. Okay, well. Okay, so this is interesting here. It started going downhill when I was given a second project to become a producer, as I was told most producers at the company did. I was associated producer on this point. It's important to note this project was ambitious and to be created from the ground up. On top of regular producer responsibilities, I was given the task of teaching an entire team of artists and programmers who had never touched Roblox before. All these wonderful developers were also speaking English as a second or third language in countries across the world. So it looks like they were outsourcing to cheaper countries. That's also pretty typical of a lot of companies these days. It was at this point I began falling behind on both projects due to immense amount of work on my plate. While my higher-ups only offered sympathy comparison to their own fairly high workloads, comparisons to my coworkers. One such comparison was my boss telling me a fellow producer stayed up for an entire week before his project launch, implying I should be more like him. Interesting. On a Monday, mid-December, I woke up to start work and was locked out of my work email. This had happened frequently before, so I assumed it was a technical issue and asked HR. I was told passive-aggressively to talk to your boss. Smiley face. They say smiley face over the phone? Interesting. By this HR rep, I'm told she's no longer with GameFam. I reached out to my boss, and it was 6... Wait, I'm told she is no longer with GameFam? What, the boss is no longer with GameFam? I reached out to my bosses, and it was 6 entire hours before I was given an acknowledgement. This acknowledgement was only on a link to a Google Meet, which I was told to join. I was met by the CEO and both higher-ups that I reported to. This is where I lose my mind. The CEO tells me that I was fired that weekend, the first I'm hearing of it. The reason, leaking company secrets. When I asked what led him to believe this, I was told he had no proof that it was the only explanation for my lack of productivity. I was devastated. Interesting. So because she was unproductive and bad at her job, she was leaking company secrets? Weird. Everyone around me knew how hard I worked for the company that was completely overworking me to the bone. When I informed the CEO I had no second job, like he said, his only response was short, "Oh, okay." He promised me either severance if I wished to leave or could reinstate me with a new contract. I was the only person leading both teams I was responsible for. I felt a burden to them to keep them taken care of and not abandon them, so I begrudgingly agreed to continue working, and until the aforementioned contract came in, I was continue work on my projects as normal with increased help. This help never came. Instead, I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday that week with no contract, no email, and no word on how much or even if I'd be compensated for that time. Each day, I'd ask my boss what was happening with the contract or how much I'd be compensated for my unchanged workload. None of these questions would ever go answered. On Thursday, I was even told that I needed to watch my tone and be grateful. I was even given a chance. It was the end of the week that I said my last goodbyes and chose not to come back. I never received any of the severance I was promised in my original firing meeting with the CEO or any compensation for the last week of work. In many ways, it was my fault for agreeing to work without the contract in the first place. I want to add that GameFam employees A lot of incredibly hardworking developers from all around the world of all levels of experience, and they don't deserve the vitriol for corporate decisions. If you want to make change, focus your attention at the top of the pyramid where it matters most. The developers of the company like GameFam are usually the ones already suffering. I've since spoken to many current GameFam employees, and I'm told things are better. I hope this is true. Okay, so things have gotten a little bit better, apparently. Thank everyone for reading. Okay. All right, so yeah, it seems like typical... Unfortunate, it seems like typical corporate, shenanigans with the higher-ups and the employees being mistreated or feeling like they're being mistreated. As far as my opinion on the whole thing, yeah, it kind of sucks. Now, it could have been their only option as well, but if these people are really, really feeling like they're being underpaid, undervalued, you got to understand, you got to realize that you should look for another job. You really should. You should always keep your options open. You shouldn't be locked into a job that isn't locked into you. If the company isn't taking care of you, then you should not take care of the company, right? You shouldn't care. You shouldn't give so much loyalty to a company. What you need to do is look for something better. Always strive to make things better. I mean, I'm glad this guy apparently got some money back from this whole thing. $5,000 isn't much, but by the sounds of it, I mean that's that's a pretty big portion of what he was making yearly, anyways. So it just kind of sucks all around. Yeah, it kind of sucks all around when you hear things like corporate crunching and overwork, because it happens with every game studio. The unfortunate truth is it happens with every game studio. And then you get things like this ugly, gross, cringy corporate speak stuff going on here. And it's just no good. It's really no good. Who can reply? People like GameFam Studios mentioned can reply. So they've turned off comments on their thing as well, which is typical. What have they got to say as of late? Let's see. They posted Sonic stuff. Okay. More Sonic stuff. Sonic stuff. Sonic stuff. Some more Sonic stuff. A lot of Sonic. Wow, they really pushed Sonic. Sonic must be their cash cow. Is it the second most popular game on Roblox? Holy heck. That's wild. That's wild. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but until we stop giving these companies money, this is this type of stuff that's just going to keep happening. The only way to combat companies that mistreat their employees is to stop buying their stuff, stop giving them money, stop buying microtransactions, and I guess in this case, stop buying things with Robux. But it's the second most popular game on Roblox, so you just know money's being thrown at them like crazy. All I can say is, if you don't like it, don't play it. Don't play any of the games they have here. Eventually, the things will change. I've been boycotting EA games since 2014. So nearly 10 years I've not touched an EA product. Even for good games that came out. Even for games like Jedi Fallen Order or whatever those Jedi games were. They looked great. Got really good reviews. But guess what? I'm holding steadfast and I'm boycotting the company. I think that's what needs to be done. I think that's exactly what needs to be done. So if you don't like the way GameFam treats their employees, don't play any of these games. Anyways, Sammy, thank you so much for going ahead and posting in my Discord, asking me to cover a topic. Otherwise, I would never have found out about this. This flew completely under my radar. Jeez, I wonder what else I'm missing out there. Take care, everybody.